and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I don't know if you can tell by what I'm wearing, but yet again I'm going to be talking about Miraculous because it currently has me in a chokehold. Okay, so I actually have a few other videos that I want to do, but this first video is going to be just like a short one talking about talking about season 6. So the first thing I'm going to say is that it's going to contain so many spoilers because obviously season 6 is like fresh and new, and I feel like there's a few people out there that probably still haven't watched it yet because it's not on Disney Plus or anything. I think it's like on Disney Channel though, like I think they've aired it on Disney Channel if you have that. I don't, so I've been watching it on this website. I think it's like Miraculous.2, so I've been watching it on that, and yeah, I'm obsessed. So obviously the idea was just to talk about it, but of course it's going to have spoilers because I think there's only about 4 or 5 episodes currently out, so that's what I wanted to say, because I'm probably going to be briefly talking about certain things in those episodes, just because I just feel like I need to talk about it, because it's like one of those things where there's been so much up in the air about it before we even got it, and obviously now it's very like so yeah, that's why I just thought I'd jump on and do a video, because obviously I love the show and why not. So let's get comfy, and yes, I'm very excited to talk about season 6. Let's go. So holy shit. So obviously I was with everyone and nervous about the fact that season 6 has a brand new animation. I'm literally going to point out the elephant in the room straight off, because we all know that's the one thing that is like the main thing about season 6 is the fact that we have a new animation for it, and nobody really likes it. Now I'm gonna give my opinion, okay? So I at first was the same. I wasn't keen. I was like, why are we doing that? Because we don't need it. Like, the old animation was everything, and they looked great in the old animation, and that's probably a reason why I loved it and loved them. But yeah, I think there was like reasons for it, and I won't mention it, but it's just, yeah. So obviously then it was an actual thing and it was happening, so then we just had to be like, right, okay. And so then it came out, the first one came out, and I remember it, like we were all like, oh my god, like the first one, even though it was not the first episode, which we always, is so weird with Miraculous that they do that, but yeah, the first one that they aired was episode 2, but yeah. But I have to say, at first I was like, oh my god, what is this? With the animation, but I warmed to it, I got used to it, kind of thing. So I feel like that's what it is. I feel like because people just don't like change, I am one of them, and obviously we got so used to how it looked that we are like, no, don't change it, why would you change it, kind of thing. And now it's one of them where we're gonna have to get used to it, so there's that. I feel like I have sort of, because there's a few episodes now and I'm like, oh my god, I actually like it in that animation, so it's weird. I don't know, I feel like I kind of don't mind it now, so I'm like, it just is what it is. I know there's some people that sort of like, I feel like it's one of them where I am easily pleased. I kind of just enjoy it now. Like the fact that we still have the show and they're still giving us good content for it, I'm just like, I don't mind. I don't mind that all the voice actors are fine, which is like one of the main factors I think like that would ruin it if like that happened. So that's the main thing. So I don't know, I just feel like I see other people's comments about it and they're like, whoa, this would be so much better, and I'm like, that was a time, now this is how it is. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like certain episodes, I feel like were made for that animation, if you know what I mean. I don't really know how to describe it or explain it, but I just feel like it wouldn't have done it justice in a different animation or the other animation. So I just feel like, I don't know, I don't know, I'm like this with it. I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh god, I hate it, but then other times I'm like, it's fine, I don't hate it, I think it's fine, you know, because it almost looks better, but then I just, sometimes I don't like the way that certain people look, which I think is our issue. So yeah, so that's my we'll go into that. That's what we'll talk about, and then that's it. About the animation, because obviously that's like the main thing that everyone like slates is the animation, because obviously they changed it and no one likes it, but that's my view on it, so we'll go with that. Okay, so now that we've talked about the animation, we can actually talk about some of the episodes. So obviously this is where, like, spoilers if you've not seen any of it, because I'll probably talk about things from it. So obviously the ones we've had out now, I'm trying to remember the names of them. We've had The Evil Illustrator, not The Evil Illustrator, that was season 1, sorry, I always get oh my god, I always get them. The Illustrate, yeah, that's it. The Illustrator. I keep thinking they're the same thing, because I'm like, we already did that, didn't we? No, The Illustrator. That was the second episode. Then we had Sublimation. Then we had, I feel like we literally only had 4. I feel like there was like more than that, but I think we only had 4, but I could be wrong. So The Illustrator, Sublimation, and then we've also had Daddy Cop and Werepappers. So it's 4. So we've only had 4 episodes, so yeah, Jesus. But if you are caught up, then fine, you can carry on. But obviously if not, this isn't for you, because like, yeah. So the first one we had was The Illustrator. Oh my god, this was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I actually did film my reaction to watching the first one of season 6, because I was just like, whoa. And it was funny because I was just like, I was literally dead from the intro, like, because we need to stop, because if you're coming to my channel because you like Miraculous, but you have to, warning, you have to know that I stand Miraculous, but I am the biggest Adrienette shipper to exist. Okay, so sorry if you aren't really that bothered about Adriennettes, but I literally am obsessed with them. I love them, and so haha, they are thriving, and I am literally screaming every time they're on screen together, because I am obsessed, because I have literally like shipped them from like day 1. So I am so happy. I'm so happy. I was happy in season 5, but obviously now, like season 6, they're literally like a couple, and they're being, I mean, yeah, but like they are a couple, and I'm just like, whoa, help. So yeah, I was literally dead over the intro, because like, hello, but they had Adrienette in the intro, and so I was like, what? I was literally dead over that. I just couldn't cope with it, because of course it's so different. It's so different, yeah, but like, I was like, whoa, because of when she's like, I have a secret that no one knows yet, because we always used to laugh at that, because that always used to mean the fact that she was Ladybug. But then, of course, like, practically everyone knows now that she's Ladybug, apart from him. But, like, practically, like, so many people know. So they've had to be like, scratch that, guys, because, like, that's not true anymore. But then, the fact that they had it be a different meaning, which is the fact, oh my god, as well, the way they did it, whoa. But it's the fact that, obviously, his dickhead dad was the dick, he was Monarch, and of course she knows because she defeated him and all that, but it's just the fact that how they did it was, she like goes up to him and they cuddle, and then she like looks away and he's like, they're still cuddling, but it's like, and the behind the have his dad and Hawkmoth and Shadowmoth and Monarch, I was literally like, oh, okay, the different meaning. I was shocked, because I was like, god, yeah, like the fact that they still kept that in, but it means something else now. I was like, whoa. And now she had like a scowl on her face, and it's just the fact Adrian's like still cuddling her, and it's just like, I was like, shit, I'm not ready for the tea, because like, obviously I was thinking, right, you've had them be all cutesy and lovey-dovey in the intro, so that means they're fine, right? Because you do not tell me that they will break up, because I will cry. I'm like, absolutely not, that's it now, we're endgame, we're going to be together forever. Like, literally, when we get married and have all 3 kids and 2 hamsters. What? So yeah, that one was like, the first one was funny, because obviously, yeah, we had them in it, but I was still a bit like, what is happening? Because of course, they went back to her being like goofy and weird around him, and I was just like, what is this? Because I thought we got over that shit and we were fine, and she was holding his hand in season 5 and we were fine, we were kissing at the end and it was great. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was just like, what is this? But I was still laughing, and I was still like enjoying it because it's just the way she is. Like, that's just Marinette being Marinette. And Ali was like, yet again, everyone being like, what? So like, what do you mean? Like, which is like, are you scared to be on your own with your boyfriends? Like, and she was like, yes. And I was just like, help, like, what is that? But then to be honest, I understand, because I then saw somebody say that that's like a, what's the word, but like a trauma like reaction, because of course what she's actually gone through. Like, to be honest, when you watch it again, it's gone back to sort of almost happy, and you forget that happened and she went through all that. And so I think it's like she does it as like a coping mechanism. And also she even admitted it at the end that she was like terrified to do something wrong because she doesn't want to ruin his life, because he's lost his dad again now. Like, now he doesn't have a dad and he doesn't have his mom, and he literally only has her really and Natalie. So it's like, she's a bit like, I'm literally terrified to do something wrong around you. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of that's kind of cute, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, because you know, like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's loads of people that hate Marinette, and I love her. Like, I'm not being funny, but I feel like Adrienne's my favourite character, because after watching that episode, I'm just like, oh my god, my child, like, this sunshine boy, I literally can't with him. And oh my god, yeah, I need to get into that, but I thought of something, and I was like, it is so accurate, I can't even cope with it. But Adrienne is literally this like sunshine child, and I literally love him, because there's parts that I'm like, Marinette, seriously, but I kind of can like understand why she does these things, so I kind of deal with it, you know, and when she's like being who she is. But I just think, I think what it is the fact that Adrienne don't give a shit, because he loves her being like that. Like, that's why he fell in love with her, because she's goofy and weird. And so I'm just like, yeah. So I don't care really that she was being all strange, because at the end they were fine. I knew they would be fine at the end, so it was just but yeah, I just can't. So that one was like, it felt like normal Miraculous in a way, because obviously they were just like, I mean, it was funny because obviously Ali and Nino were like, let's go, and I was like, hold on, I was really confused. Oh god, yeah, I was really confused, because obviously they were just like, let's go and step into action. I was a bit like, because I honestly did not like the fact that she gave everybody the Miraculouses. I really didn't, because I'm always that one that's like, no, we just need Lady and Cat Noir. They're a team, they're a duo, they're iconic. I don't need anyone else. But then they then were like, this is what's happening, and I was like, okay. They always do that. They always make me hate it, and then I'm like sat there like, ugh. And then they go, actually, this is how it works, and I'm like, oh, I like it. It's like, that's fine. So what they said was, everyone has one, but they can't transform for an Akuma. And I was like, thanks. Because I was just literally thinking, like, they're all going to be sat in class, and then they're like, shit, an Akuma, and they're all going to ditch, because they'll all want to, like, transform and help. So that's why it makes sense now. So obviously Lady and Cat Noir, they've always been the ones to do that, so they do it. That's their job. And she gave everyone else Miraculouses so that they don't have to do everything, because we forget that there are all the things that they do, you know. And it showed that in that episode, because there was like a fire, there was like the thing that they were on getting stuck, so that needed help, and something else, like, you know, there was loads of things that, like a cat got stuck in the tree and the kids needed their ball, like those things that you don't realise. So clearly they would do that as well. And so she was like, that's why I've given you the Miraculouses, because I can't be arsed with doing any of that. And also because they are together now, Adrienette, they're like, so we can actually do coupley shit, because otherwise we won't be able to do any of that shit, because we're doing that all the time. So I was satisfied then. I was like, oh, okay. So like they can just easily transform and help everyone in Paris in that way, but when there's an Akuma, they have to wait until she needs them for their specific power. I liked that. I liked that. I thought that made more sense. I was like, okay, yeah. I get by that now. So yeah, there was that, because obviously Ali and Nino like transformed, and I was like, hold on, what? But then I didn't realise it was because it was just something happening, and it wasn't actually someone akumatized. But it made me laugh, because I was like, okay, like it was giving Tales of Rita Rouge and Carapace, and I was like, and they were just there like, yeah. But Adrian made me pissed because he was like, we don't need to be superheroes to be a couple or something, and I was just like, but guess what? Because, like, wow, help. She's just, oh god, yeah, he was so cute. He actually was. I have so many things about it, though, because, like, I have realised, okay, that Adrian's, like, love language, so their love languages, okay, so Adrian's is 100% physical touch. It has to be. Like, I'm not being funny, but if you disagree, then you're wrong. But, like, I could get past, like, any others that you could say, but I just think it's physical touch because I feel like he's so like that. Like, he always wants to hold her hand, he's always touching her hand, and he always wants to, like, I'll get more into that in the other episode, but, like, he's always, like, touchy-feely with Marinette, and I literally die. But I think it's because of the fact that he didn't really have, like, any of that from his, like, mum and dad, and I'm just like, shit. So that's why I'm like, I'm sure that that's his one. Adrian's is 100% physical touch, and then I think that Marinette's is gift giving, because we all know that shit. Like, the fact that she was, like, gonna do all their presents for Adrian, and she's constantly wanting to give him things like, here's this and here's that and all this shit. So I don't know what she, like, wants to receive, because I almost feel like Adrian's gift giving is like, oh, physical touch is like, he needs that, but he also likes to touch other people as well. But I feel like Marinette's is, she likes to do gift giving, but I don't really know what she needs. Maybe, like, words of affirmation, possibly, but I always think that's Ladybug's. I think Ladybug's is words of affirmation, because the amount of times that she's always like, and then obviously, like, every Cat Noir's always like, it's fine, you got this, and you know, he's giving her those affirmations, and I'm like, yeah, that's what Ladybug's is. Did I ever work out what Cat Noir's is? Maybe, like, quality time, or, like, I don't know, to be honest. I almost feel like Cat Noir's similar, and he also wants physical touch, to be honest, so they might be the same, because I feel like that's what I thought about for that, because they are different. Like, when they're Ladybug Cat Noir, they change, but I almost don't know with Cat Noir. You might have to see what you think with that, but I'm trying to remember if I ever thought of it. But Adrian's 100% is physical touch, like, 100%, and it confirmed it more in this season with, like, that episode. I was like, so yeah, I just can't. And obviously, whoa, the way that bloody, yeah, I'm still talking about, like, the first episode. I feel like I'm going all over the place. I haven't, like, made notes because I'm just thinking about it as I'm going, because I'm probably word vomiting at you, I'm sorry. But yeah, so obviously Lila, or not whoever she is, not Lila, but that bitch that I hate, is the villain, which we all knew. And the way that she akumatizes everyone, I was literally like, the entire time that moment was happening in the first one we saw, I was literally silent, because I was like, it was giving movie. Like, it almost felt like that should have been how it happened in the movie. But I was just like, what, like, that in that animation, I'm sorry, but the old animation could not do that justice. I'm not being funny, but it couldn't, because that looked amazing. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, the way that, like, she would, like, crouch down with them and they would be in their own, that was honestly everything. I love it. I think the way that they've done that now is so cool. But I do laugh, though, how I'm like, she's unoriginal, because she's like, what do I call you? Because I have no idea. Because he would always give them names, and she's now like, I have no idea, so you name yourself. That always made me laugh. So yeah, that was like, wow, with how that looks. So I actually really liked that. And the voices thing, where obviously I was like, well, it's a woman, but apparently they can't tell when they're, like, akumatized. It's all muffled. She's, like, done multiple voices, and I was like, okay. I was like, oh, steady on. Because, of course, they still don't actually know who it is yet, and who, like, they haven't, like, done a thing where they're like, I am this such and such, and I'm gonna get your Miraculouses, rah. Like, she's very secretive, because, of course, at the end of the first one, or, like, the second one, I'm actually like, oh my god, because she's such a stalker. She was literally there at the cafe when they were there and watching them, and I'm just like, girl, I don't like it, because obviously, like, she hates, I don't know, I want to say them, but does she still hate Adrian? I don't know. But she hates Marinette, and I feel like she's just following her in the shadows, and I'm just like, ew, that's horrible, because then she knew to akumatize the child. Holy shit, that child was adorable. I was like, stop, you are literally our child. You're like Adrienette's child. Oh my god, I just couldn't cope with her. She was adorable, like she actually was. And I was like, how dare you akumatize a child? Like, she was precious. She actually was. And I was like, oh, because Marinette would never, but she was being so strange. I was like, what are you actually doing? Even Adrian was like, seriously, like, are you right? And it was so funny, because she was like, look at my drawing. Oh my god, she would have done as well. And I feel like the way that she is with kids, Adrian would look at her with the lovey-dovey, like the lovey-doveyest eyes I've ever seen in my life, because he'd probably, like, she's so good with kids that I feel like she would be all over it and be like, oh, that's so cute, rah, rah, and he'd just be there, like, staring at her like, wow. I'm dead. I'm actually dead. But yeah, I can't. But yeah, it was great, that episode. And then obviously, like, even like Rena Rouge and Carapace, they were in it as well, and they were helping. Oh my god, yeah, because it was like, what? Because she was trying to get out of the date with Adrian, and so then she was like going around doing random shit, like, and the fact that she was doing the bins, and then Cat Noir was just sat on the top, just like so, because like he kept, that's what I mean, like Adrian in that episode, I was like, my child, because he kept like being on his own because she kept ditching him, and he was just sat there like, and he was like, she's like that, she'll come back, and it's like, I was like, what the and the fact as well that he like instantly was like, fine then, I'll go be Cat Noir the minute he sees Ladybug. It's almost like he knew that that's why she wasn't there, was because she's Ladybug. He's like, seen Ladybug, oh, there she is, like, you know, I couldn't get over that. I was like, oh. But so it's hard, because obviously the way Cat Noir looks is a little bit like, A part of me is like, why does he look like that he's in like a game, like a video game version of Miraculous? It's just, yeah, it looks a bit strange, but I get past it, because he still looks great, but in a way I'm like, so, yeah. Holy shit. There was like one more thing, whoa, I'm just like throwing my hair out, but there was like one more thing actually at the end of that episode where bloody Tiki did that thing again where she like spat in her hands and made that quagga tama. Yeah, that's it. And I was like, hold on, because then I was like, stop, because she goes, you're gonna be my deputy in case like anything happens to me, and this has my memories of like all my shit from when I was like, stop, what? Because I was like, that better not be foreshadowing, because I don't want that. And even Alia was a bit like, wait, what? Come again? Because obviously she meant like, if anything happens to me and I like some, you know, then you'll be the new Ladybug. And I was just like, I was like, absolutely not. I was like, what the hell is that? It's like, what do you mean? And even Trix was a bit like, because then obviously Trix was like, what about me? And she was like, I'll find someone for you. But it was just like, I was just like, okay, I don't like that. But it's one of them. Yeah. So the next episode, oh shit, I've watched it once because I can't, because I'm like, oh god, what was it? But yeah, so the next one we watched was then called Sublimation, and I feel like that was the one that we kept seeing all the time, like leaks of and storyboards and stuff, because it was like when he was running with that girl and she had binoculars again, and I was like, please tell me we are not doing that, because I feel like we're already there. And Alia literally is us, because she's like, what is going on? Like, why are you doing that? Because, like, you're already together. Why? And, yeah, I was like, girl, seriously? It was genuinely, like, I feel like we were all like that, though, weren't we? Where, like, I was like, oh, God. Like, the second-time embarrassment, again, was just like, are you serious? It's because, of course, there was this new girl, Sublime. And I was like, wow. That Adrian, like, runs with. And I was just like, right. And I'm like, don't be jealous, Marinette, because we don't like that. We don't want a jealous girlfriend. But, like, she was like, I'm not jealous. I just want to, it's the fact that she always wants to, like, be friends with everybody. And I'm just like, girl, seriously. So, of course, she was just being so annoying and awkward. And I was just like, what is happening? But yet again, Adrian made me pissed. Because, of course, she was following her around all day, trying to, like, do something to make her be able to, like, be friends with her. And they were talking, and then she was like, by the way, there's some girl hiding behind a plant. And he was like, yeah, that's probably my girlfriend or something. Like, she was like, is that your girlfriend by any chance? I don't know how she put that together, unless, like, I just told you who my girlfriend was or something. But he was like, what? Because he's hilarious at how he just knows. And he wasn't even off. He was just like, I kind of wished there was a scene, because there wasn't much Adrienette in that, so I was a bit like, But, like, I kind of wish there was a moment where he, like, spoke to her or went up to her and was like, are you serious? Like, really? Because, like, what? Because obviously she was like, yeah, she's hiding behind a plant. Is that your girlfriend? And he's like, yeah, sounds about right. Dead. And then obviously she's like, bye, woo, and ran away. Oh god, yeah. It just got worse and worse, because then she did that shit with the soap, and then oh my god, wasn't there a part where she then thought that she was in love with Adrian? And I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I actually can't. But it was fine once we got into the battle, because obviously, I mean, she even, like, was an idiot and transformed into the ladybug, which is what made her, like, snap her bloody prosthetics. And I was like, oh my god. And then she realised that really it was actually her that was the villain. And I was like, oh shit. Or not the villain, but, like, you know, the baddie or whatever. Because obviously, like, she technically only got akumatites to, like, fix things. But yeah, kind of was cute again. Because, yeah, again, words of affirmation. And he was like, he was like, you're everything, so, like, don't doubt yourself in these things. And then she was like, what? And he was like, I never lie, my lady, it's this isn't it. I can't remember, to be honest, because I literally watched it once when it first came out. That was it. I couldn't watch it again. I was like, ugh. So yeah, but the Lady War was actually quite good, because of course we're all kind of mourning Lady War, because of course, you know what I have to say about that? I think, right, because I've been rewatching the show and I've been rewatching, like, season 1 and stuff. I think we mourn them because obviously we're like, they're non-existent, where are they? But I think what it is that season 1 and season 2 and all them, I feel like we had a little bit at the beginning, and then someone got akumatized, and then that was it, boom. Like, we were just in the action straight away. And then most of the episode is Lady War, because we're defeating the villain, you know? That's why there's so much of it, because, like, we're going on forever doing this, and then Lucky Charm, and then then I'm like, what am I doing? And then I do it, and that's it. And then at the end there's, like, a little bit more of our civilian selves. But I feel like now they're focusing on and, like, the fact is that they can just do it. They're just bish bash bosh done, and, you know, like, that's it. And so they focus on, like, the civilian and, like, Adrienette and stuff, and so then I'm like, shit, gotta transform, and then boom, 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 done, and it's done in seconds. And I'm just like, okay, but why? Because I kind of enjoyed when all of the episode was the fighting and the Lady War, you know, that's why, like, we get it, but then we're like, because that's it, and you've done it now. So I think that's what it is, because I feel like it started from, like, season 4, though, where, like, we're fine, we know what we're doing, we just get on with it and it's done, like, kind of thing. But I'm like, oh, because that's what made the show, I think, when they were, like, being, like, Lady War a lot, and they were, like, fighting the villain for a while. Like, literally most of the episode was that, and that's why I think we are sad we haven't got that anymore, because literally it's like a tiny bit of the episode in the middle, sort of, and then we're back at it again. So yeah, I think that's what it is. But we had a little bit of the fight in that episode with Lady War, so it wasn't too bad. Holy shit, okay. So the next one that came out is literally the one that has me in the chokehold. I'm obsessed with this episode, because why wouldn't I be? Because the Adrienette in that, hold my wig, I was dead. So this is Daddy Cop, and what? Because obviously I have to say, though, this made me laugh, because this is the episode where Marinette was trying to do something for their, like, 100th kiss, which I was like, hold the phone, what? So, because, like, when have they kissed 100 times? Because I've only seen about 3 or 4 or something. So I was like, rude, what do you mean? I need more. Like, you know, like, I need to see it. I was like, excuse me, but are you going to show me a compilation of all of the kisses? Because I need it. So that was funny, but, like, that was a no, they didn't do that. But I still loved this episode so much. I keep rewatching it because I love it so much. So obviously she's like doing her, I think the fact is in this one where she was yet again doing her weird Marinette-ness, but then it wasn't awkward and cringy because like she kind of realised that she was a bit like, oh, okay, I don't actually need to go crazy like that all the time. So obviously she was trying to do it, and oh god, I can't. The amount of Adrienette was like, whoa! Like, from the bloody start, I was dead. Like, they were finally natural, and I was like, I need that. So, like, obviously she's planning it, and then she has to go to school because she's like, shit! That was kind of funny, though, because I literally live for that scene, but then I'm just like, right, what do you mean? Because she was like measuring him for a suit, but I'm like, for what? What's the suit for? Were you supposed to wear that to come to my house? I mean, you probably wouldn't have worn that, but like, that was random because like we didn't really talk about that anymore. Like, he didn't even care. Yet again, he was just like, yeah, what am I doing? I actually can't, because of course as well, I knew it was coming where she. Because I was like, we never see them kiss ever, and this one episode, because it's surrounded by the kiss, is going to be so much kissing, or like, he's going to want to kiss her all the time. That was the case, and I was dead. I'm sorry, but Adrienette kills me, and I'm soft for them. When it's Adrian, like, pining over her and obsessed with her, that's what melts me away. Literally is. I'm like, holy shit, because I just can't. Like, he is everything. I love him so much, and when he's obsessed with her, I literally die, because it's the cutest thing ever. So I just can't. She was like running in, and the girls were like, yeah, and then he was almost a bit like, wait, what? Like, hey, but like, whoa, and it's like she yanks him up. I literally can't. Yet again, they were like really touchy-feely, but I live for it. So she was like, come over here a minute. And then he was like, hi. Oh god. But then she was like, whoa. That was so funny, because I knew she would. I was like, yeah, because she's like planning this day, and then she's gonna like see him all day. She's gonna be like, no, I don't want you to kiss me, actually. That's what happened, because he instantly was like, hey, but she was like, no, don't do that, just kiss me on my cheek. And he was just like, wait, what? It was so funny. He was in a mood, actually, because he just wanted to kiss her. He was like, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But it was just like, yeah, I mean, he knows what she's like. Literally, he does. Like, he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Because, like, she instantly was like, no, don't kiss me on my cheek, because we're doing this. And he was just like, all right. He's just thinking what is going on in her head. Like, what is she doing now? And I actually can't, because obviously he was like, okay. But then he was like, but why? That always kills me. Like, but why? It was so gentle and soft, and I was just like, I'm dead. He literally wants to kiss her and I can't. He was just like, yay, but why? Because I want to kiss you. And I was like, help. I literally giggle, because I'm like, they were so cute. And then she bloody kissed him on the cheek, and I was like, I need help. Like, I need help. And then she put the tape, Betcha sends me. It actually does, because she's like, whoa, and he's just like, hold on, what are you doing? And then obviously he's just like, okay, because obviously she's like, the no kissing is for a surprise. So then he's just like, so this is also a surprise? And she's just like, yep. Oh my god, though, that line. I feel like they set her up to say that, which is what is it again? There's no hiding anything from you. I was like, excuse me. No, I kind of understand why they've said it. Because, like, I think they've said that to, like, trigger us and just be like, wait, what? Because, of course, there's a lot to hide, actually. She's like, I'm actually hiding a lot of things from you, boy. I'm just not telling you it. But I think what they're getting at is like the fact that he knows her, and he, you know, she can't hide anything in that way. Like, it's not any of that shit. She's just like, oh, I can't hide it, you know, there's no hiding anything from you. Being like, you know, they were being they were teasing and being a bit flirty, and I was just like, So I just bypass it, but I also be like, okay. I was like, what is that? Like, are you serious? So yeah. I just still can't at the fact that he instantly was fine with it, and that she was just like measuring his arms and doing all this shit, and he was just like, yeah, right. He's like, what's this for? But they were so natural, like, actually. And yet again, they look so good when they stood next to each other. I can't. And then obviously the girls were like, so, and she was like, wait, what? I was a bit like, oh, because I thought you would have told them that you were doing that, but clearly not. It was like a secret, clearly, like surprise thing they were doing. I was just laughing because they were just like, she's totally forgot. And I'm laughing because I feel like Adrian should have just been behind her when she was like, no, I didn't forget. He should have been behind her like, she did forget. Like, looking at the girls like, and then she would have been like, what? Nothing. Because he knew. He just knew. He even said that. Because then she was like, let's go. Bye. See you later. Actually got. Because then he was like still like this. Like, okay. And then, did you forget? No! Oh my god. He's like, don't bullshit. Because I know. He should have been like, haha, you forgot. But she was like, no, I didn't. Well, they were so natural with each other. They were so comfortable with each other. And I lived for it then. Because, oh god, honestly, every scene they had together, Adrian was so soft with her. And I was like, I actually can't. And he was so, like, gentle and, like, and also so respectful. Because, of course, he, obviously was like instantly like, oh, okay, I will kiss you then because you don't want me to. So it was like, yeah. But then also I just can't with the fact that when he finds out that she like basically forgot, he was instantly like, no, it's fine, babes, I will come tomorrow kind of thing. But then she was like, no, oh yeah, because she had to do it that day because that's stupid star thing or whatever it was. And that kind of helped because I also was a bit like, does it have to be that day? But then it was because of that happening that she was like, yes, it has to be today. So she was a bit like, shit. And he was just like, I'm not coming. I was a bit like that though when he was like, I'm not coming, and she was like, sorry. So yeah, it was funny. So yeah, I laughed at that. But then, oh my god, that literally melted me. I was dead. I was like, I'm already dead from that moment. And then he was like, so cute, because he was like, yeah, again, he understood, and he was like, it's fine, like, we'll do our date a different day, and you go have fun with your friends, and those kind of things. Like, I'm not coming because you're having girls' night, and this isn't it. And what was that? That was like, whoa. I was literally attacked. That he put his hand on her face, and I was like, I'm dead. Like, I was literally dead because that was just so cute, and the way he did it as well, it was so like gentle and shit. And she was just like, her eyes were just like, because she was like, what? She was in like a state of like, what do you mean you're not coming? And he was just like, I'm not coming, all this and this. He's just like, girl code, I'm not breaking it, so I'm gonna not come. But it was just, yeah. And of course then he tried to kiss her again, but she was like, no. So then she was like, bye, see ya. And he was just like, she can't. It was funny. And she was like, okay, this is strange, I just want to kiss you, like, why? And yeah. But obviously then, oh god, yeah, because this episode as well, I feel like I'm literally just talking about Adrienette, but like this episode as well was a lot about Sabrina, because obviously like she was like alone, and I actually really did feel sorry for her. But then obviously you do forget that she like was with Chloe the bitch and bullying everybody, so I kind of get it that they were like, no. And I was like, hold on, because obviously Zoe was all up a bit like, hey, you know, you're right kind of thing, and I was like, yeah, please do, because that's kind of sad. But then I was like, okay, like, why do I kind of ship them? I was like, okay. I was like, I kind of liked it, so I was kind of shipping them a little bit. But yeah, bloody Sabrina, that was sad, because obviously then they had that mix-up where she wanted to invite her, Zoe did, and tried to, you know, say it to Marinette, but then Marinette was too obsessed with Adrian. So then obviously when they were like, when she asked, they were just like, yeah, thinking it was bloody Sabrina, but it was Adrian. So yeah, she was like, yay. So then it was all like a cock up, to be honest. And then obviously she arrived, and I am like, oh god, because I feel like I hate that bit, because obviously she was a bit mean, and I was like, oh shit, Marinette, don't be like that. Because the way she like flew down the flap, because she was like, ha, I knew it was coming, and then she just went, whoa, dived down, and then whoa, like, look, why did she do all that? I don't know. Because then she was like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh girl, don't be like that, because Marinette's not. But then I kind of get it, because obviously Sabrina bullied her, so it's like, oh, so yeah, I kind of get that. And then obviously, I can't get over actually that, because I did think like Sabrina should be the one that gets akumatized, but I knew she wasn't. And then she was like going to, because it did happen, and I was like, oh, hold on. And then she was like, no, and broke out of it. I was like, okay, go girl. Like, that was like, whoa. I didn't expect it. So yeah, it was funny, because then they were all like, oh shit, and then ran to like find her. And Marinette was just like, what? I just want my boyfriend here. What the hell? But yeah, and then of course it ended up being her dad that got akumatized, and he became Daddy Cop. And then yeah, and like I say, this is what I mean, like most of the episodes was like stuff at school, and then that, and then obviously a bit of that, and obviously she was like, here I am as Ladybug, capture you, or like save you and take you to safety kind of thing. And then of course he turns up, hey, here I am, and with his witty comments, and she's just like, distract please, and he's like, yeah, sure. Oh my god, yeah, because then she did that thing again, because that also happened in Sublimation, I forgot, but like she like blew something like another butterfly, like Lila as the villain, and it came out of him and then like bashed him, and that like gets rid of their powers. And I was just like, excuse me, like what? And she like caught him and stuff. But yeah, that was like, because like she could do that and it got rid of the powers. And I was just like, shit. Because then he did like Cataclysm at the end, and I was like, what? Because I thought he couldn't do that. But she was like, go and recharge. So obviously that's clearly what happens now, because they don't have the 5-minute thing after using their power. They probably, if they get hit, have to go and recharge kind of thing. So that was like, oh, okay. So yeah. But then obviously, yeah, because what else? Obviously Sabrina is whatever her name is, Miss Hound, and so she like redid her outfit as well, because she was like, I need your help, but she was like, no, I'm shit. But then Ladybug was like, no, you're great. So she did it again and changed it, and I was like, all right. So then she like had a new outfit, and then oh my god, yeah, the way that they can now all like call everybody on their like whatever it is. So she got the ball up and like rank max to be Pegasus, and I was like, whoa, that was cool, because obviously then it like came through and he got the message, so he was like, we're needed, let's go. So I was like, that's cool. That shows you that that's how they do it, you know, like that's how they like call anyone when they need them kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, I liked it. And then obviously they all like worked together and did it, but it was literally in seconds. I was like, wow, we're done, like Jesus. That's what I'm like, but I feel like the idea is that clearly like their powers, it's all since she became Guardian, and I'm like, yay, but I also kind of hate that, you know, like ever since she became the Guardian, she got more powers, and then she just like didn't really need like to do the same, like they didn't do the same thing anymore, where they like took ages to do it kind of thing, and I think that's what it is. So I was just like, but it was fine. But like, so yeah, the fight was that, and then it was like, yeah, we did it, we were everything, we did it, and we were amazing. So then we moved back, and obviously like that, where they like, she apologized and shit like that, and I was like, yeah. But like, oh my god, the bloody Adrienette at the end, because I was a bit like, please don't leave me hanging, because I was expecting them to kiss because of like what the episode was about. I'm literally attacked still, because that was like, oh my god, like that killed me off. It actually did. I was dead, because of course, yeah, then they were back at school, and then she was like, oh yeah, shit, and she just kissed him, and he was just like, hold on, you're kissing me now, bloody hell, like finally. I actually can't. And then she was like 101, or like 100. She was like 100th kiss, and he was like, oh, is it? I was like, I actually can't. I'm being funny though, right? Because Holy shit, yeah. Because I missed that bit out, didn't I? The other part where they had that moment and she was still trying to convince him that, God, yeah, how did I forget about that? But, like, yeah, she was still trying to convince him to come, but he was just like, nah, babes, I've told you I'm not coming. But that made me laugh because I was like, he probably will be like, wait, what, 100? We've kissed 100 times. Like, where? You've kept count? But then I literally died because he was like, this 37th idea. And I was like, wait, what? Or I've given you 37 reasons why you should come, and yet not one of them is me going, oh, by the way, if we kiss, it's going to be our 100th kiss, and I wanted to make it special kind of thing. Girl, please. It's just like Adrian was counting. He's like, right, 1, 2, 3. This 37th idea. It's just like, they're literally made for each other. They actually are. But like, yeah, how did I miss that bit out? Because that was also cute. Because he basically was just like, no, I'm not coming. End of. And I was a bit like, shit, Adrian. Because he's never normally like that. And I kind of liked it. But he wasn't horrible about it. He was just like, I'm not coming. You are spending time with your girls. Like, you don't need me tonight. I'll come tomorrow kind of thing. Like, you know, and she was just like, but. And so then she just like, was like this, like, what? She was really like, ugh. And then of course he was like, see ya, bye, and tried to kiss her again. But it was just hilarious. She didn't even say anything. She didn't even flinch. She didn't even move. She was still like, and he instantly just realised, so it was just like, ugh. I just kissed her on the cheek. I was like, whoa! That was like, whoa. Because obviously she didn't even need to like do anything then. But he knew, he still could tell that she didn't want him to kiss her. And so he was just like, all right, later, just like kiss her on the cheek instead. Wow, that killed me. And it was like, see ya. Oh my god, he's so cute. I'm literally attacked. Adrian is precious. I need him in my life. I actually do. And so she was just like what? She was like, no. She was trying so hard to like convince him to come over, but then he was not having it. I was like, yeah, boy. As you should. I was like, yeah, valid. Because, like, no. But I was like, yeah, I want you to kiss. But, like, I was like, it'll be fine. So, yeah, going back to when they did, she was then like, yeah, by the way, and they just kissed him 100. And he was like, really? He was just like, okay. He was just a bit like, wow, you're kissing me now. All right, yay. But then, obviously, she was yapping away, but he makes me laugh because I feel like he doesn't even listen to what she's saying. He was just a bit like, holy shit, she kissed me, so like, but like, she totally was yet again yapping, like, it's our 100th kiss, rah, rah, I wanted to make it special, this, and he was just like, and I actually can't. And then, oh god, that was like, whoa. Because, like, he would though, where then he was just like, he instantly was literally just like waiting for her to shut up so then he could grab her he grabbed her face, both hands, and kissed. I'm sorry, but I was literally a corpse. I could not breathe. I was like, it was just the way that he like grabbed her face and kissed her, and I was like, hold me, like, hold me down, because I'm literally screaming. And then he goes 101, and what though? Like, he didn't even question and be like, that's a bit strange, like, why have you counted our kisses? He's just like, there you go, 101 now. Even though, psych, we're wrong, because we've actually kissed a few more times than that, but we won't talk about it. But like, oh my god, I needed help. Like, I rewatched that so many times because it was just like, but I was like, oh, it was like, wow. I think it was just his way. Like, you could also see it in his eyes, like, before he did it. Like, his eyes just changed. He sort of smirked and then he just went, haha, I can kiss you now. And it was like, whoa. Even she was just a bit like, and I was just like, my babies, they are so cute. And I was like, shit, I literally need help. Wow. I love that at the start of this, I said it was going to be a short video when I didn't do this because I just knew in the end that it bloody isn't. So apologies that it's now ended up being really long. But yeah, I feel like, oh god, yeah. There's like a tiny bit at the end of that one as well, Daddy Cobb with Zoe. And I was just like, what? I was so confused because obviously she was coming out of the bathroom and then there was that dude and I was like, who are you? And he was just like, hey, and then she was like, leave me alone. So I was just a bit like, what? Like, that was really weird. I was like really confused by that because I was like, I was loving Zoe throughout that episode because I was like, that's really cute. And obviously, I kind of forgot about her law, not gonna lie, because I think what it is was she was in New York and she got bullied. But then I was laughing though because the picture he showed was her in the old animation. I was just like, right. But he was just like, oh, you want to tell your friends who you really are? And I was like, excuse me, you're not shady, are you? Because I won't take that. Like, I will not have it. Because, like, she can't be shady. I love Zoe. She's everything. So I was just like, okay. Like, that was just like, And he was like, what? I was like, who are you? Like, what? I was like, one, are you my bully? And you've come here. And you were in New York with me. Like, sorry. And then two, what? Because, like, you're insinuating that I'm a bully. Because, like, no, I'm fucking not. But, like, no, I'm not. Because, like, excuse me. Yeah, that was weird. I was just like, I was literally like, wait, what? It was so funny. I was just like, I have no idea what's going on there. But I'm hoping that they'll do more about that in other episodes. So, yeah. Alright, so we just have one more to talk about, which is Where Papa's. Now, this was funny because this was the first one that we had to watch in a different language. So I think it was Spanish where I watched it in, and then it came out in English. And it's always funny because I always then think it's not going to make any difference. But I tell you, it did. Because there was things that attacked me in the English dub that I did not expect. So obviously I watched it and like, oh my god, because this one was so heavy on like Adrian's backstory / lore. Like there was more of that and I was like, I need it, because obviously the whole like the fact that now his mum and dad are dead and he lives with Natalie, I was proper like, I need that. And so bloody hell, the beginning part as well with him as a baby, and I was like, what? And does that mean daddy doesn't love me? I was like, whoa! Even like as a child, as like, what? How old was I? Like 6? I was like, daddy doesn't love me. Whoa! I was like, holy shit! And oh my god, Emily was so cute. But obviously the idea was that his grandparents were coming, and I was like, whoa. I was like, that's like tea, because obviously that's something we've never really had before. And so like Natalie got the call, and he was like, they were like, sure, they're coming. And he was just like, oh, really? So that, oh my god. And Marinette, yeah, again, because she was with her grandparents, and so, oh my god, they were so cute again, because she just like was like, hey, my dad wants you to come over for lunch on this day, but he was like, I can't because my grandparents are coming. And she was just like, yay, like, oh, she's so supportive though. And I literally die. And then he was like, oof. And she was like, what? Like that call was so cute. Like they were just like, oh my god, because she was like, what's up, like why, what's wrong with that? And he was just like, I don't even know them, like they're probably just gonna come and fight over me. And so she was like, oh shit. And then she was like, I'll come and protect you. And I was like, oh my god, I literally can't, like they kill me. So then she was like, yeah, I'm coming and I'm helping and this and this. And then obviously she was like, let me talk to Natalie. And then it transitioned to her like being there, and she was wearing that outfit, and she was like the little spin that she did, and he was just stood there like looking at her like, I literally can't. And I was just like, wow, I love this, because obviously the dynamic now is just so like, I just love it, where like, because we're a couple, we're fine, and like I'm coming over so much more in your house and Natalie's there, and it's all like thinking, even though Natalie was still being a bit like, oh, but that was because she didn't like trust, like, or she didn't believe she was good enough to be his like motherly figure. And I was like, that's a load of shit. It's because you've always been there for Adrian. Now we stand you, you're a queen. So yeah, it was just like, oh my god. And Natalie, wow, she looks great as well. So yeah, they were like, oh my god, she was so cute, because she was like, please, I'll be fine, like I can do this, I'm great. And he was just like, thanks for coming. He's just like, I want you here. And because obviously she was a little bit like, they probably won't want you here, but she was like, well, they'll have to deal with me because I am. I stand it. So obviously then they came, and he was so like, his mum's parents basically were like, ugh. Or like the dad, he was such a dick. I was like, ugh. And he was so tall as well. I was like, whoa. But like, yeah, and I was dead. And like his parents, because I didn't expect them going. I kind of only thought it was her parents, but they were all there. And I was just like, yeah, this kind of makes sense actually. I don't know why I didn't think about like an episode with like them talking about custody, because obviously he doesn't have any parents anymore. But I was just like, oh well, he lives in Natalie. I just didn't even think. But like, yeah, it made sense that they did that, but he was such a dick. I was like, ugh, because obviously it like links to the rings that he wears and all that shit, and I was just like, but like, I also died because, of course, I didn't expect it. Like, you read the synopsis and you're just like, oh yeah, okay, but then it's almost better than what you expect because, like, oh my god, he brought that shit, and of course Plag was like, what? He was like, oh, I'll have some of that, but Adrian was like, no, and it was just so, I can't. It was hilarious. I don't know how Marinette did not see Plag and be like, what are you doing here? That was hilarious because obviously then Adrian was just like distracted because Plag was like off like eating them things, and he was just like, where are you, come back? It was so funny. But like, yet again, Marinette, whoa. Like, I always talk about Adrian's like protective boyfriend mode, but Marinette is so protective too, because he was a bit like, you're the grandchild then, are you? You're the offspring or whatever, and he was just like being really mean, and she was like in the back like, and I was just like, woo! Yeah, literally, like, don't you dare, I will kick you or like beat you up if you say anything about my boyfriend. So I was just like, oh my god. But yeah, it was so funny because Plag was like floating about like eating that shit, and he was just like, where are you? The bit where he then like had to leave the table, he was like, I need to go, and ran, and Marinette, bless her, she was like, it's okay babes, but he was like, yeah, I'm fine actually, I'm looking for Plag. It was hilarious because, and the bloody Spanish, whatever it was cute because like, you know, he was like, Plag, where are you? And she was just like, Adrian. He was like, Marinette. Like, smacked my head on the thing. And then she like pounced on him, like she jumped on, it's gonna be fine. And like cuddled him. Because, she was like, don't panic. She was thinking he was like having a moment, but nah. I was just looking for Plag. Where's he gone? So then she was like cuddling him, and he was just like, yeah, where the fuck's it? Where is he? It was so funny. So yeah, and then they came back and oh my god, yeah, again I feel like Marinette's a little bit touchy-feely though now, because like there was times where she kept like touching him a little bit, like he sat back down and she was like, I got this, and she sort of like grazed her hand and he was just like, no babe. Oh my god, it was funny. But yeah, there was things that attacked me from the English dub, because like, for one, I did not expect any of them to talk like that. Like, I'm not being funny, but like for some reason I just expected them to just be American, if I'm honest. And then they were English, like British, and I was like, whoa, hold on, why are you British? I mean, I get it because I think they are British, and the thing is though is that they're supposed to be French. Like, that's the problem. They live in Paris, like they're supposed to be French, but like they have to be English, so they have like American English voice actors, so that's why we just don't really think that. And I just thought they would be American, but then they weren't, and it was so funny. So like, her parents were bloody British. He had like a British accent, and posh, and I was like, wait, what? And the fact that his parents were like full on French, I was like, whoa, like they're the French twang. Like, they gave me such like American with like coming on the motorbike and shit. So I was just like, what? Like, that was like, whoa, like I didn't expect that. But there was also some things that they said, because that's what happens when you know what's coming, but you've like listened to it already in like Spanish, because I did, and then you have to wait for them to say it, because like then it sounds funny in their voices. I can't, because like that's what Marinette did. Oh my god, that was like, what? Like when she was like talking to them at the table, she was like putting on a British accent, and I was like, wait, what are you doing? Like, I'm surprised Adrian wasn't like, hold on. Like, shit babes, what's that? Like, why are you doing a British accent? No, it was funny. It was really funny. I couldn't get over it. I was like, okay, I did not expect that. And it made me laugh, because also the bit where he was like, can I leave the table? It was so funny with the way he said that, because he was like, I forgot something. His face was a picture as well. I was like, aha, because it was just, yeah, it was so funny. So yeah, so then obviously there was some shit going on at the table, and they were basically just fighting over him and the rings, and they wanted him back, and then Marinette was just like, no, because she already knew, like, that he just needed to be with Natalie, because Natalie was the one that cared about him the most. So she was just like, come on Natalie, what are you doing? And she wasn't even in there, she was like behind the door, so she was probably like what is this? And of course Adrian was just there like, I mean, he did say like, to be honest, I live with Natalie, I'm fine, like I don't need you kind of thing. So it was funny actually. So yeah, then they were just bickering and doing all that shit. So then obviously it ended up being, because it was Werepapa, so I was like, what, where's this going? So it ended up being Emily's mum got akumatized, and then she made the dad, like the granddad's papas, you know, she made them like fighting werewolves. And I was like, I'm not being funny. Werepapas, it was literally parallel. Like it was giving the same episode, but in reverse, where he got captured instead of her, and then she had to save him instead of he saved her. And I was just like, But obviously that meant that we had no kind of war then, really, because he did transform, but we didn't have it. But it was like, because she got akumatized, and then he was just like, what's happening? Because obviously he was still bloody trying to grab Plague, and then he did. And they were just like, what's going on? And then obviously he's just like, Wah! Oh God, they were still like, oh, because she was like, shit, like, Adrian, no. And then obviously he was like, whatever he said, get to safety or something, and like, go hide. And because they were like caring about each other, of course. And it was just like, whoa. And then yeah, she took him up. That's what I mean. Like they went up there, and I was like, right, it's literally giving Where Dad, but I think it was supposed to. And so then that made me laugh, because obviously I forget that Natalie knows as well that she's Ladybug. So then she was like, take her to safety, and I'm gonna get help, aka I'm gonna be Ladybug. So she was like, yep. She was like, yeah, sure thing. But then, whoa, we got a transformation in season 6. I was like, whoa, that was the first one, because I didn't think we were doing that. We hadn't had one until then. And I was like, hold on, a transformation, like, whoa. So yeah, that was like, shit. Obviously it looked a bit skewy because she was in that other outfit, but I was still like, damn, like I didn't expect it. So obviously, oh my god, she's such a badass. I bloody love her. She's such a queen. But obviously in this instance, yet again, I just know what I'm doing. So I was just like, bash, 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 here I am, we're done. But it was still everything, because obviously then he was like watching. He was like, ugh. And Plague was like, ugh. And he was just like, you, with your stupid whatever they are. And obviously he was just like, well, you can do it if you want. But he was like, but then they'll know I'm kind of war. I can't do that. So it was funny. But he still transformed to be able to like text. And she was just like, oh, what the hell? But yeah, it was funny. Because then she was like, here I am, like, such a queen. And like, I'll save you. And obviously then she was like doing her lucky charm like over and over. It was funny. So... But yeah, there was like a moment, and of course I didn't even think about that, because I don't, because in a way I'm still in denial and I don't want to believe that's a thing. But the fact that, obviously with the ring thing, is the fact that he is a sentient monster, Adrian's a sentient monster, and or a sentient being, and he, obviously the amok is in those rings, and so, and Marinette knows that, / Ladybug knows that. So obviously with the Akuma going in there, she was then like looking at them and about to break them, but looking up. And I didn't even twig. Like when I was thinking of it, I was just thinking, well, that's your boyfriend, and the rings, like they're his rings, and you were just feeling a bit sad about breaking them. But I was like, it'll be fine in the end. But I was just like, oh, because obviously the idea is that if you break it, the feather comes out. And it's like, shit! Don't do that to me, because I kind of hate it. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. I was like, yeah, Felix is, but he isn't. Because I'm sorry, but did they not clarify in that episode that they got pregnant with Adrian and had him as an actual baby, but then Amelie's husband was pissed that because she wanted a baby, and that's why they used the peacock to create Felix, and that's why he's a sentient being, and that's why he looks like Adrian, because they did it like that. I don't know. That's what I always used to think, but I'm probably wrong, because everyone's saying that they both are sentient beings, but I'm like, no, but clearly they are, because of course she was like looking at the rings and looking up and looking like sad because she was having to break it to get the Akuma out, but she was like, but if I break it, the feather will come out and Adrian will go, and that's my boyfriend, so like, no. And I was just like, holy shit. So obviously But she did it, and it was like showing just the Akuma, and I just didn't even twig. I don't know why, because I'm like I say, I just don't think of that, because I just forget that that's a thing sometimes, and I'm just like, no. So obviously it was fine though, because then I did everything, and there he was, and she was like, you know, she was like, oh thank God for that. But I feel like yet again somebody said that they think that they got swapped or something, like Bunnix came and last minute like swapped them before she got akumatized kind of thing, so that it wasn't the real one. Like he has the real ones, but before she got akumatized, I think they realised and did it before, so that when she broke it, it wouldn't be that one. But like, I don't know. So it was like, oh. So obviously then he was like back, and Ladybug was there, but then he was a bit like, where is she? Where's Marinette? So she was like, bye, gotta go. And so obviously then, holy shit, that was cute, because he was looking everywhere. I was like, Marinette, where are you? Oh, that always attacks me. He was like, Marinette, where? Like, what, Marinette, like in all the rooms. And then obviously she was like, here I am. And she was in the bedroom, and that was cute. The way they ran up to each other and then grabbed each other, cuddled. I was so worried about you. Yeah, literally, because I was like, whoa. She's like, I thought you were gonna go. I thought the feather was gonna leave. Can you imagine that, like, for a split moment he did, like, can you go? Can you believe that I like disappeared for a split moment? She'd be like, what? So yeah, obviously. That was the fight, and then she was such a queen though, because I feel like Emily's mum was actually quite good. Like, she was nice, but he was such a dick, and he was always so horrible to her. He was like shouting at her, and I was like, shit. So then she actually piped up, and she was like, I think Adrian should choose what he wants in his life. And they were all like, yeah, literally. And then obviously he was like, I don't know. And Marinette was just like, what the actual fuck? She was like, right, get in here. Natalie, like, came in. And they were cute, because obviously then she's like, I'm just his girlfriend. And they were like, oh, you know, like Gabriel's parents. They were like, oh, that's cute. And so then she was like, you are literally his mom. What are you doing? Like, you just look after him, like, adopt him or whatever. And yeah, Adrian, this is why Adrian is with her, because she's such a queen. Like, she just talks up and she's like, right, this is happening because you love Natalie, of course you do. And she was probably like, really? Is this how you feel? And he like grabbed her and cuddled her. What? I was like, wow, that was so cute. I literally can't. And then he was like, I just want to be here with you and with Marinette and with my friends. And I was just like, oh, I literally was like, and of course Natalie loves him. She was just a bit like, I don't know. So I was just like, shit, that's like, oh my god. And so yeah, obviously then now I don't know if it's like an official like I've adopted you kind of thing, or if like they're just living in the house. And because then he was like, I'll come visit you over like celebrations and Christmas and things. And they were just like, yeah, sure. And I was just like, oh my god, I literally can't. And Marinette was just like, yeah. It just made me laugh though, because clearly we're still in that realm of like, it's a kid's show, because obviously she goes, since his parents disappeared. I'm like, okay, why are we bullshitting? Because I literally told you, as Ladybug, your father was a hero, aka he sacrificed himself and is dead, you know, and we know that shit. It's just that we can't say that word. Although, even though in the movie they said that, because he said, oh yeah, my mum's dead. And I was just like, okay, so why don't they say that in a show? They say disappear. We're like, she's like, that's a load of shit, because I watched it happen. I watched him float up with Emily into death. So like, I'm just like, don't kid yourself. But they clearly just have to say it because kids watch it. So I was just like, yeah. But it just made me laugh again. I was like, right, because we all know they're dead. So like, we all know, and I know it's really sad, but you know, it's just one of them. So yeah, it was so cute. And then again, they had that little end bit, and it was Adrian again as a child, and I was like, shit, somebody get this boy some new clothes, because he was literally then wearing them from like being like 10. And I was like, holy shit, I've literally been wearing this outfit for years. But he was like running over, he's like, Dad, you're back, and he was just like, and I was just like, oh shit. Because he was like, it's the thing is though, is like, apparently somebody said that like he never really cared about Adrian, because obviously with the whole like the fact he's a sentient being is the fact that Emily used it to create Adrian, and he is the reason for why Emily got ill and basically died, because they made him. And I was just like, holy shit. So that's why Gabriel never really cared about him, I feel like, because like basically you were the reason why she got ill and died. And I was just like, oh. But like, it's like, oh my god. So yeah, he was like, did you find it? And he was just like, no. And then left, like slammed the door. And he was just like, shit. And then obviously Natalie was so cute. And I was dead. She was just like, it's okay. Like, touch his face. It's fine. Oh my god. And Emily was sat there in the wheelchair like, like, he's fine. He's going to be great. And I was just like, oh my god. I just can't. Like, the fact is that Natalie went with him and still did the shady shit though. And I'm just like, why? Like, you should have been against him the whole time. But yeah, she still did it all. And I'm just like, really, girl? Like, what was that? But still, I just love it now that, like, that's the case. And it's just funny though that they still live in that house. Because I'm a bit like, should we just move and just, like, live in an apartment or something? Even bloody Gorilla is still there. Even though, like, you're my bodyguard, but I don't technically need you now because it was just because of my dad being a dick. But, like, you can still be with us if you want, like, you can still stay here. But like, literally that bit where they were cuddling and he was at the door crying, I was like, me though. That's me. That's who I am. Take yourself, me. Because yeah. So I was like, shit. But I can't. That was such a moment. Like, that was such an episode. And yeah, again, it was like one of them where it's like, wow, like, it's changed. Because sometimes you can go back to it feeling like Miraculous and like how it used to be season 1, but then that one I'm like, whoa. Like, that was like, it felt so different because it was like so story based, I would say, and I was just like, wow. But I still loved it. And now I'm like craving another episode because we've not had anything for ages and I need it. Like, I do. I keep looking to see if there's anything like coming out, like if it's telling me about, because I am positive something else was supposed to come and then it just never came. And I feel like then somebody said it got cancelled and I'm like, rude, because I was excited. I actually was. So yes, they are my thoughts about season 6. So far. It's already like dead long, and of course it is, because I can literally talk forever about this, but it's because I kind of talked about each of the episodes really, so that's probably why. So I hope you sat comfortably and you enjoyed it nonetheless. So yes, let me know your thoughts, and I will definitely do another talking about some more of season 6 when we get it, and like probably when it all comes out kind of thing. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all in my very next video. Bye!